Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Based on where you are right now and when you're watching this video. So, let me start with an introduction to myself. Hello again. My name is Sailesh Patnaik. I work as a program officer with the education team at the Wikimedia Foundation. I have also been volunteering for this movement for over 9 years now. So I may have had like multiple opportunities to interact with you all, collaborate with you all in some projects. Uh, Maybe we also have have had a chat in one of the in-person events, maybe in one of those one of the Wikimanias and or other in-person events. I'm very excited for the virtual Wikimania happening this year and for all of us having an opportunity to share and learn from each other, the top and I'm just I'll say I'm just excited. And today the topic that I'm going to cover in this session is somehow related to that on how we can share, learn, collaborate, and communicate about our work in education. Let's get started with that and see how it goes. Before I show you the spaces of participation or the spaces of communication, I want to introduce you all to my team. We are a team of 4 members based in different parts of the world, from Peru, the United States, Indonesia, and India. We work with people in the Wikimedia movement, educational institutions, policymakers, and others to help people around the world engage with Wikimedia projects, to learn from them and to grow and to collaborate with them at different different part of our work. Similarly, there are other volunteer groups, and even the affiliates have dedicated staff members or dedicated volunteers who work for uh, who work in using Wikimedia projects in using Wikimedia projects for education. I'll just also introduce the Wikipedia and education user group. So it's a volunteer based community and is managed by a group of volunteers from the movement, some of the veteran education community members, I can say, and the Wikimedia and education user group is a global group that facilitates, supports, and advocates for implementing Wikipedia and its sister projects into um, educational and academic curricula in both Wikimedia movement and outside of it. So I introduced you all about some of the stakeholders in the Wikimedia and education spaces. We have the Wikimedia education team that works with the foundation. We have the volunteer groups, and we also have some dedicated staff members in different affiliates. So dedicated staff members and volunteers in different affiliates, and also some of the individual contributors. But that's not my topic is about, right? My topic is about where to talk about education and the participation spaces. I know, like me, many of you are confused. There are so many spaces in our movement. Where shall I communicate about my work? Is it meta wiki? Is it outreach wiki? Is it diff, or is it some other space that I have to use to, you know, showcase my work, to highlight my work, or to reach for help? So, like, where shall I look for help? If it is a new project that I'm thinking to start and I need someone to guide me through it or help me through it, what is the best channel to like reach out to someone or reach out to the education team even? Is there a space where I can find all of the information? Let me try to answer some of this question, which is very confusing, I know, for a few of us. And for some people who are already in the spaces, they are aware of they're in already in our movement, they are aware of these spaces. But again, you know, over the years we have also introduced some of the new spaces, some of the new participation opportunities for the community members. So be patient and stay with me for the next 15 minutes where I'll be talking about these spaces and its and bits and show you all a common space like where you can find all the information of the participation spaces that we have in our movement. And these spaces have been, there for over a few years now, and we participate in them in a continuous manner, and we learn a lot of things by participating in these spaces. So to have all the information about the participation spaces, the best space to go currently is Meta, and I'll give it to you all to this space. If you have been in Wikimedia movement for a while, you might know about MetaWiki. It's a documentation wiki where community members use it to document their work and share things with others, and put reports and other documentations to the space. Let me quickly show you on how to find information about these spaces on MetaWiki. Uh, just stay with me. I'll share my screen again and go to MetaWiki. Cool. And I hope my screen is loading right now. And let me quickly show you all MetaWiki. So to reach MetaWiki, you have to type in the URL meta.wikimedia.org, and then you will come to this page, which is the main page on MetaWiki. Go to the search box and type education. Click on education, and that will bring you to the education documentation space on Meta. And over here, you can see different navigation tabs where you can go. If you click on home, you'll come to this space, which explains why Wikimedians use it, why Wikimedians use Wikimedia projects in education and what they gain out of it, and other resources. You can find some of the community members. You can get yourself updated with news and events happening in the Wikimedia education spaces. And then there is the community support. When you click on the community support, you will come across this page, which is a one pager for all the participation and communication spaces we have in the education movement. Uh, if you want to share your stories and opportunities and request for help, you can subscribe yourself to the education mailing list. You can send emails to the education mailing list. You can get yourself updated with the information that is coming that comes to the education mailing list. If you need some help from us, from the education team at the Wikimedia Foundation, you can write to us at education@wikimedia.org. If you want to engage with the education community on Facebook, you can join. There's a Facebook group called Wikipedia and Education Group. Or if you just want to get updated about stories from the movement, you can look for them on the Facebook page of education team, which is Wikimedia Education Team, or on Twitter at Wikimedia Edu. And similarly, you can write uh, your stories on the education newsletter, which is subscribed by more than 200 Wikimedians. So they will all be aware of what the work that you are doing. And as I said before, you can click on news and events and go to those spaces. Similarly, these are the communication spaces that I was talking about, and we also have some participation spaces. Uh, these years, because of the COVID-19, we have virtual participation spaces. We have the education affiliates meeting, the EduWiki Global Live, some EduWiki events, and regional education meetings. And you can also engage with us in the community support where we have the Wikipedia and education user group and the EduWiki outreach collaborators. As I mentioned before, Wikipedia and education user group is a volunteer group. It is created by the volunteers. It has board members who are volunteers and are veteran EduWiki contributors in our movement. You can learn more about their work by going to their page on Meta. So this is a rough draft of the space because I wanted you all to know where we have whether we have a common like a single page or single information page to find all these spaces in our movement. So next time when you're planning to join any of these events, you can have idea what these events do and what you can get out of what these spaces do and what you can get out of these spaces just by going through this page. And we are revamping the community participation spaces from the uh, education team, which I'll be talking in this video later. And you'll have more updates about those spaces maybe within 2 weeks. So stay tuned and maybe bookmark this page and you'll have more updates. And I'll also be writing an email to the education mailing list soon so you can have more updates there as well. So that was my way to navigate you all to the a common page where you can find all the resources regarding community support. So that's a page on Meta Wiki. Now let me take you back to the to my slide. So let's get back here to the slides again. I have to close the screen and take you all to the presentation again. Okay, this take some time. So let me get here. Here we go. So we talked about like a space where we can find all the information about a page where we can find all the information about participation spaces. And now let's talk a bit more about those participation spaces. I mentioned like if you want to communicate, you can also go to that place, go to the community support page and find the places where you can communicate with others. But if you want to participate with others, if you want to talk to someone who is working in a different affiliate and you are inspired by their work, you want to learn how they are doing that work, where should you go? Let's see some of these spaces. Let's talk about some of these spaces and see how uh, we will see like how we can collaborate with others. So the first thing that comes to my mind for professionals in our movement, like if you're a staff in an affiliate, whether you're a full-time or a part-time staff in an affiliate working on education, or you are a volunteer assigned by your user group to dedicatedly work for education. So we as the education team organize a monthly space in our uh, a monthly space for those staff and volunteers. It's a space for professional networking as well as a space for working with the Wikimedia, a space for working with all these dedicated staffs. So the education affiliates meetings are spaces to discuss the ongoing work of affiliates where they have education in their affiliate strategy or education in their work. And we talk about, like different goals they have and how they're trying to achieve it, how we can support them in that. And I have been part of these meetings for a while now, and I've learned quite a lot by being a part of these meetings. I mean, I hear quite some interesting work from our affiliates, from wiki bridges that Wikimedia Argentina runs, from senior citizens program that Wikimedia Czech Republic runs, and the teachers training program that Wikimedia Indonesia runs. So these are some of the exciting spaces to learn what our affiliates are doing, and you can look for collaboration. I have seen in past a lot of collaboration opportunities have come up during these affiliates meeting. So I'll definitely you know ask you to be a part of it. Now, let's talk about another initiative, which is the EduWiki Outreach Collaborators. So it was a pilot program that was started last year in an effort to collaborate with emerging leaders from the education community. So it's a program that was designed for volunteers to work with volunteers and to serve the volunteers, to help the volunteers, I would say. And this is a shared learning group with diverse number of participants coming from different regions of the world, and we are trying to find solutions on make our how to share our work, how to hear and listen to the stories from different regions of our movement, as well as to collaborate and find inclusive practices in the education spaces. So these group of volunteers help us to publish the education newsletter, help us to document work on outreach wiki, like for all the movement spaces documentations, and also to share the stories from their region and organize office hours. So I'll be talking a lot. I'll talking a bit about the education, regional education meetings. So these are regional education meetings are the meetings organized by one group of the EduWiki outreach collaborators, which are the community specialists. So these community specialists are based in different regions of our movement, from Latin America to Southeast Asia, or ECF, or South Asia, CEE, Sub-Saharan Africa, Middle East and North America. North Africa, sorry. We are introducing Middle East and North Africa regional community specialists for in the next iteration of EduWiki Outreach Collaborators. We'll be starting the application for you all to join us as a New York from the second week of September, and we're excited that we will hope that we will receive some good number of applicants for that. And we have organized around three regional education meetings in three of the regions, uh, CEE, South Asia, and Latin America, where we had the opportunity to speak to more than 15 affiliates from 20 countries with 60 participants. So these are very engaging spaces. And then also last year, because of the pandemic, we explored another opportunities for participation, which is the EduWiki events. EduWiki Week is a concept to explore opportunities with community members involved in the movement to highlight their work, share their work, and raise awareness on use of Wikimedia projects in education. I have quite some stories to share about the Wikidata Education Week we organized, because we learned so many things on how Wikidata is being used in education, from students learning data comparison to students building new apps to those data and different things. Similarly, the education team also organizes Also offers some consultations, some one-on-one consultations. The purpose of this consultation is to help community members get answer to the specific questions they have for their program. As I mentioned above, if you have a new program to talk about, like if you're planning to start a new program, where are you going to talk about it? So you can reach out to the education team and seek for help and request for help. So you can scan this QR code to be there. You can use the bitlist short link. Uh, and we are also exploring another opportunity, which is the EduWiki Global Live. It's a new format that we are bringing to connect the education community with the global stakeholders of education. And for example, UNESCO or other global education champions, I would use the word. And this is going to be an online meeting to have real-time conversations for them to connect the work of Wikimedia with their goals. And, we can also use it as an opportunity to collaborate with each other. Uh, and I think that was the last thing. I hope I was able to share the things that I wanted to share. If you have any questions, uh, you can reach out to me, or you can I'm in charge of the community organizing work for the education team. So feel free to reach out to me and my email address, or you can talk to the team, or you can reach out to me in my Wikimedia Wikimedia account. So that's all. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here and for listening to me. Bye.